All right. So good afternoon. My name is Shemaya Dickens. I am the coordinator of student leadership here in student activities. I'm going to share my screen. If someone can do like a reaction or a thumbs up or come off you to make sure we all can see the same thing.
We can see it.
Awesome. You are great. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you to those in the chat. Okay. So again, I'm going to reintroduce myself. I can't see if people are still hopping in, but I'll do a general introduction again. So good afternoon. My name is Shemaya Dickens, but you can call me Shemaya. And I have the pleasure of doing your presentation today about how to re-engage your students for your organization and your groups. Let me get a feel of who's in the room. Can you guys put the organizations that you're representing today in the chat here? It's gonna be Educators Rising. Okay, Lasso, Women in Finance, Karina, Pre-Vet Club, Cosplay, Anime. Ooh, I love anime. Ed Rising, Japanese Language and Culture. Okay, come on, NCNW, I love it. African Diaspora, Pre-Law. Okay. Belize. I did not know there was an organization for that. That's awesome. One Accord Campus Ministries. Awesome. Cool. Great. So thank you all for being here. So we just ended a great session with Jimmy Biscuits there. And so a lot of the stuff that we're going to be going over is kind of touching on some things we talked about. But we're going to go through a different approach. So if any of it sounds redundant, it's totally fine. Okay, K-pop dance club. Okay. Y'all gonna have to send me invites to y'all events. This sounds fun. But yeah, so we're gonna go about it and explain it in a little bit of a different way. And kind of take it from an acronym that I think will be really useful for you all. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, so our agenda for today. So I've done my introductions. We've already done that part. We'll go a little bit over norms. We'll do a what made you activity, and then we'll talk about disengagement and then what re-engagement looks like in regards to that. Okay, Triumph. Thank you for being here, Asmedin. All right. So this is the ask for I speak. I will always have an ask. So the number one ask, which you guys are seeming to be really great at so far, is to be present, right? So camera on and off, it's totally fine. I would love to see your face because we are in this space together, and this is a collaborative space where we're learning from each other. So I welcome if you want to show your face. But even if you are not able to show your camera, I definitely want that engagement piece. So I want those comments. I want those ums, ahs. I want those I need those reaction buttons. I want to make sure that you're fully present in the space to be able to take everything from it that you can. Number two is engage. Give me the messages, the thumbs up, the hand claps, the reactions. All level of engagements are welcome and appreciated in this space. And then when we talk about look within, there's going to be certain things in this presentation that's going to allow you to have like a deeper conversation or think of past scenarios. And I really want you to intentionally do that. Think of the ways that all of this content can apply to your particular organization, or ways that, you know, you might have tried things in the past, and these are some great ways to spruce it up. Okay. All right. And then if we have questions, just for the sake of like me not overloading myself with like 3 different screens, you can absolutely put the question in the chat. I have all of the slides numbered. So if you're referring to a particular slide, you just put your question with the number, and then we'll go back and we'll talk through it as a group. Cool. Let me get some thumbs up, some yeah, some hey, I see you. I'm here with it. What's the vibe? So I know we're all in agreement on our norms. Thank you, Isabella. Okay, Kevin, thank you, because we here. Got it. Thanks. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Oops, wrong button. All right. So if you are here, you have been very much in the space that I have been in at one point, where we've been this woman right here, right?
Excuse me, can you record me real quick?
Hmm?
Can you record me real quick?
Get somebody else to do it.
Oh, it's for audition.
So let me tell you, this is my favorite video. And why is it my favorite video? Because it says clearly, I don't got time for this. I don't got time for what you need. I got boundaries. I got a life. I'm a student. I'm running this org, that org, that org. I might be a commuter, right? I have these additional responsibilities. So you can feel free how you want to do it. You can give me some thumbs up in the screen. You can do a reaction. But how often do we say within our own organizations, like, get somebody else to do it, please? I'm tired. We have a whole board and slew of members. Why is it always me picking up the slack, crossing our own personal boundaries that we have for time commitments, trying to balance an event or a commitment with school, or it doesn't even match up with our responsibilities? I am the social media chair. Why do you have me running this meeting right now? Okay. I'm responsible for this, right? So this is something that, as a student org leader in my undergraduate experience, that was super common. And trust me, I hear you. We are going to go into ways to combat this. Please do not judge these YouTube recommendations, because I promise you, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why there's a cat. I don't know why Lois is falling, but regardless. So we're starting with that frame of mind of get somebody else to do it, right? We are sick and tired. It's a new semester. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to get my health right, have my own boundaries set in place. So we're going to talk about some ways to do that in a way that's constructive and collaborative for you, but as well as your organization, so you can get that re-engagement. Oops.
Excuse me, can you record me real quick? Can you record me real quick?
All right, so we are going to get into our first activity, and it's called What Made You. So we're going to go through 5 different scenarios. And so you get to respond with either I care, I'm just here so I don't get fired, or let me get up, right? And so the way you have to think of all 3 of these is I care. When it comes to these scenarios, I care means I care enough to do it on my own, participate, or be involved, right? If you're saying I'm here so I don't get fired, that means it's what's best for me, right? It's what's best for the person I'm doing it for, the entity that I'm doing it for, right? It's like okay, I'll do it, right? And then let me get is a bargaining chip, right? It's a persuasive factor. So for some of these scenarios, you'll be like, well, I'll do it, but you got to walk the dog. You got to do my paper. There's some negotiation factor of sorts. Okay. Let me hear if you're ready. I need some thumbs up. I need some reactions. I need some. Thank you, Angelina. I'm glad you feel that. It's very common. All right. I love that your image is anime. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and go to scenario number 1. So my friend wants me to go to a party that I don't want to go to. You should see them polls coming up in your screen. Is it I care? Like, I genuinely care for you as a friend, so I genuinely will do this, right? Is it I'm just here so I don't get fired? Okay, you want me here? Okay, I'll be here for you, but this is not my idea of fun. And then we have our third option of let me get like, okay, so if I go to this party with you, does that mean you sharing the notes from the class that I missed on Tuesday, right? Like, where are we falling in here? Okay, some of these results are coming in. Okay, I think a lot of us are on the same playing field. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Oh, these numbers are jumping. All right. So seems like a lot of us are in the pool of I'm just here so I don't get fired. Okay, it's something you want to do. I'm here to cooperate with you. This ain't my cup of tea, but shout out to the people that's on the side of I care, right? Like, you want to do this, you're my friend, I value what you value, I'm going to go with you, we're going to have a good time, right? And then the let me get right? Like, so we going to the party, does that mean you dropping me off to the football game? Are you going with me to the football game? Or are you doing something that is of interest to me, right? Okay, cool. Oh, did it come up on your screen? Maybe I should hit share results. My bad, y'all. So that's where everyone in the group kind of fell over. We had 25% of us saying I care. We had 50% of us saying I'm just here so I don't get fired. And then we have our 25% of us saying, let me get let's bargain this out. If I go here with you, what you gonna do for me? Okay, oops, I wasn't supposed to do that. Of course you. All right. All right. Let's head to scenario number 2. So scenario number 2. My blank, and I left it blank because it depends on how you feel. Whatever comes to mind first. It could be your mother, it could be your grandparent, could be your father, it could be your partner, right? But my blank wants to wear matching outfits for a photo shoot. Where do you fall on here? Do you genuinely care? I care. This is going to be great. We're going to have a great time, right? You want to do a photo shoot and create a beautiful memory? I'm here for it. Are we on the side of, I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? Like, you're going to bug me about it if I don't do it. Cough, cough, my mom. You're going to bug me about it if I don't do it. So let's get the show on the road. Give me the outfit. Let me get the sizes and all the things, and we'll get it together. And then we got the let me get a. So depending on who you think of, let's say it's a partner, you know, maybe your partner's like, okay, we can do the photo shoot, but I need ice cream after, or I need pizza, or I need anything that you can bargain, right? I need you to pay for the next date night, however that looks, right? All right, it looks like most of us have our answers. Oh, no, we got a couple more coming in. Okay. All right, gonna end that. And so it looks like a lot of us are on the side where I care, which is very heartwarming to see. Someone let me know, who was your person that you thought of? Please come off mute because I can't see in this moment. Who was your person that you thought of for your blank? I'm curious.
My partner.
Your partner. Okay, very sweet. I care. Anyone else? Did anyone think of someone else different?
I said my family because we always do like Christmas pajama pictures every year.
So cute. I want to be like y'all when I grow up. So cute. Okay, I love that. That's precious. One more person. Who was a person you thought of? If it wasn't family or a partner, who'd you think of?
I said my friends because sometimes we go out and we already color coordinate, so we haven't done a yet.
Okay, that's cute. So it's like it's a whole thing. Like, okay, so we're wearing this outfit. So it's very much a part of the culture of your friendship group. That's cute.
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome, awesome. All right, yeah. So a lot of us are on the side of we care, right? A couple of us is like, all right, I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? And then there's some of us that use it as like a bargaining tool. Like, okay, what can I get if I do this photo shoot? Because I don't want to do it, but we might as well do something I want to do too. Cool. All right, our third scenario. My partner wants to watch a movie genre that I do not typically enjoy. Is it I care? I'm just here so I don't get fired. Or is it let me get right? Like, all right, I'll go, but I need you to buy the pizza. Or I'll go, but you got to let me watch games. I mean, play games all day. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about, I'm not spending time with you. You like, we'll go to this movie, but I need a full day of just me and Call of Duty, right? Like, I'm like, okay, we got some of our answers coming in. Oh, this is a little bit more blended. Okay. I don't know if there's anyone left. It says I have 22 of you all participated. So let me give it a couple more seconds and then I'll share out. We're a little blunted over here. Okay. Okay, honestly, this is the one that's kind of the most around the board. So we have 42% of us saying, like, I care. You want to watch a movie, babe? That's what we'll do. I care about what you care about. I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? Like, okay, it keeps the relationship happy, keeps it fresh. And then let me get a, like, so Call of Duty all day by myself is what we exchanging for this, right? Or I get to have a me day. Oh, okay. But no, we're pretty even. I will say this is the more even ones of all the responses. Okay. We are on number 4. Now, let me preface this by saying this is a safe space. I'm new here. I have literally not much context about Towson. I'm not judging, okay? But I'm trying to get a feel of where we fall, okay? So, attending today's presentation, are we on the side of I care? Are we on the results are coming in and I'm screaming? I'm just saying so I don't get fired, right? This is required. I gotta be here. So I might as well. Or is there a bargaining tool? You know, maybe you and the club president sat together and was like, all right, well, I'll do this one if you do the treasurer one, right? Maybe it's, well, I guess it would have to be the treasurer, but you know, you did that swapping piece of like, all right, I'll go to this one if you go to that one, because I don't really want to go to that one, but we need it, right? It's required or something like that. Okay, I think we got most of the answers here. This is funny. I'm not offended, but this is funny. All right, so as most would expect, we are absolutely on the side of, I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? But shout out to those of you who care. We appreciate you. And that's okay, right? Like, I'm not judging it. Sometimes that's just the way life goes. There's things you got to do that we don't want to do. I'm just here so I don't get fired. Okay. All right. And then we're going to be on our last scenario here. As soon as the computer cooperates. All right. Joining the club or organization that I am a part of. Is it I care? Is it some type of I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? Is it a let me get a, right? Is it something that you kind of fell into in some sort of way, right? Yeah, let me know. I'm gonna give people a couple more seconds. It looks like people are kind of still deliberating or figuring it out, which is fine. So let's say for a particular like major, right? So if you are a biology major and there's cool points for being a part of biology club, right? I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? It's your passion, you care about it, but you know specifically being the president of this club or being the, you know, on the executive board is a good look for you. It looks like a lot of us are done. Okay, well, this is very heartwarming to hear. So shout out to all of you all that are here that are on the side of I care. We have 100% I care, which is very lovely to see, right? But again, it was a safe space, so I wasn't judging if it was a I'm just here so I don't get fired or like a let me get up. Okay, so shout out to y'all for that, for caring about the organizations you're representing. Awesome. All right, so the purpose of this activity really is to take a look at and understand we all have different reasonings for behind why we do certain things. And especially when we're talking about student orgs, right? Everybody's answer might not be, I care, right? So I hope none of you are a part of these clubs. I just picked them randomly off of the water to you. Please don't feel slighted. Please don't feel slighted, okay? So archaeology club, say I am the president. I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? It looks great on a graduate school application. I know where I want to go. I might want to get my doctorate in certain studies. Being the president of the archaeology club benefits me greatly, right? Same thing for archaeology club, right? Who could be a general member? It could simply be I care. I care about history and artifacts and, you know, how Earth was before and how it's being affected now through different things, right? Active minds onto you. Really hope nobody is in here. But a general member, right? Let me get up, right? They're in that club to get extra credit for class, right? Maybe there's a professor that partners up with some of the things, right? So it's easy to be a part of the general member board and get all the blasts. So you can go to that class and get that extra credit turned in, right? DAVG, an executive board member, right? Let me hear from someone. If the reason for them being in the club is want to network and build a skill set, which one do you think they would fall under? Would it be I care, let me get her, or I'm just here not to get fired? And let me open the chat just in case some of you guys are typing in the chat. I care. Okay, thank you, Karina. Autumn, let me get a, okay. Kevin says care, Patrick says care. Okay, let me get a, all right, thank you, Jordan. Awesome. So to answer your question, I care, let me get a, it could be either, right? There's actually no right or wrong answer for that, right? It could be a, I care, but it also could be, let me get a, right? Because there's a genuine want and need. And I say all this to say, all of us are part of our student orgs for different reasons. Now, except for y'all. Y'all are all there because y'all care. Okay, we've established that through the poll. But all of us that are in these student clubs and organizations are all there for different reasons. It could be as genuine as I care, right? But it could also be as genuine as I'm here so I don't get fired, right? My friend might have pulled me into this org because it's an interest there. It could be a bargaining tool because I know, hey, I could use this for extra credit, or I can get my way into this organization, you know, this honor society, if I'm a part of this organization, right? So we want to keep this at the forefront of our minds as student exec board leaders, because you have to recognize, although your purpose is very intention and genuine, that I care doesn't make any of those other reasons wrong, right? For this DAVG member, executive board member, right? They want to build a skill set and network, but it can go either or. Could be I care, could be let me get up, right? But as long as they're committed to the work of what they're doing. Okay. So keep that in mind. Everyone's reason doesn't have to look the same as long as it brings you together for a greater purpose, right? So let's briefly talk about why students may disengage, right? Holla if you hear me. All of this, when I was making this presentation, all of this sounded so accurate to me at different points in my college experience, right? Life challenges. You got family stuff going on. You're trying to balance working and running a student org and handling your grades, right? Mental health, which is very much a thing, right? Managing priorities, right? Like, dang, I could plan this really big event that happens every year, but it's also like, man, I really need help with bio. Man, I really need help with this accounting class. Like, my grades come first. I am at school, right? Worker internship is more important, right? Handling life challenges, that managing priorities piece is really important. Imposter syndrome, right? I just joined this org and it just so happened that everybody left. And I'm just here like, wait a minute. I don't even feel like I have the skill set to run this organization. Just didn't want it to die, right? Personal gripes, right? Boredom or frustration with the organization's culture or even the university's culture, right? It's a big commuter school, right? So getting and understanding engagement for someone that's like, I'm here to come, go to class and go home, right? Those personal gripes, right? Also kind of comes under that, like, I'm just here so I don't get fired, right? Yeah, they say I should engage. They say it helps. Okay, I'll join something, right? But I very much, maybe I never wanted to come to Towson, like at all. It's just something that's the most affordable for me. And I'll have to find some type of way to make it a oh so great experience, right? Level of connectedness, right? The degree to which I connect with the purpose of the organization, the members, and the campus, right? So that's that bigger question of why I may disengage as a student. I don't feel connected here. I don't feel connected at Towson. Maybe this is an org I wanted to try, but I don't feel connected to the culture, right? So we talk about that inclusivity piece, right? I don't feel connected to the campus. I'm just a commuter. I just want to come, do my grades and leave, right? There's all these different reasons why students may disengage, right? Let me get some reactions. I didn't say totally. Yep. Thank you. Thank y'all. Yeah, these are very, very much common experiences of what we have as students, right? So I say all that to say we've done a little bit of understanding, right? So at this point, we understand, hey, people join organization for different reasons, right? May not necessarily be the same reason as mine, but we're all together and we have to figure out how do we manage what your reasoning is, right? Whether it's I care, let me get a, or I'm just here so I don't get fired. But also understand you as a person a little bit, right? Because if I'm a person that's having issues managing priorities, I can't engage in your student orgs. I can't help you with doing what you need to do, right? If I'm someone who's having issues with being connected to the university or the organization, right? It's easy for me to step away and not take part, right? And so that leads us to our session title today, the chill strategy. So we are going to go into our method for re-engagement here. So chill strategy, C, communal. Okay, H is for holistic. I for integral, L for learning, and then our second L for likable, right? And so communal, how do we bring people together and make spaces for everyone? Holistic, how do we think about engaging the whole student, right? Integral, how do we get all these different pockets of people and make it one blended thing? Learning, how do we learn from each other or from others in this space? And how do we make it fun, likable? How do we make it fun, right? So that we can come together and have fun. So we are at our definition of communal. So definition of communal, used or shared by everyone in a group, shared or participated in by the public. So what this really looks like is in this space, I believe everyone in here is an executive board member, right? Communal means any and everyone. So that means we're having these chill spaces that involve, I'm sorry, that's my heater, that involve all levels of organization, right? So it involves the exec board, it involves the special committees, it involves the general student body, right? That's what it looks like to have a communal space when we're talking about a chill space, right? So we want to think of what are those things that all of us can do, like everyone from the president down to the social media chair, down to the committee level person. What are those things that we all can do, right? And then as we go through the other levels of chill, we'll add layers to those things. But we first want to start at what is something that all of us can do together, right? And then we'll fine tune what it looks like as we go through the letters. H, holistic. So holistic means characterized by the belief that the parts of something are interconnected and can be explained only by reference to the whole. So in being holistic with our approach, we want to ensure that how we see individuals in our student groups are as a whole, right? So some of the things I have on the screen here are things for us to consider. What do we all have in common? Oh, hey, we're all students at Towson. Look at that. What are those important dates that matter to us as students, right? Or even matter to us as a society, right? You guys are typically gone in the summer, but you know, those holiday time celebrations, Memorial Day, you know, welcome to TU, which is really big, finals, midterms, those important dates that connect all of us, no matter what level you are in your organization. Current events, right? So elections, bills related to education, things that affect you all specifically, tragedies, right? Moments where the country comes together. What are those things like? We're all experiencing this in some way or capacity. And then needs. We all gotta eat, or not if you're like Triumph and maybe y'all fasting, but we all have to eat, right? As a whole, but these are the things that you have to consider when we're talking about being holistic, right? When we're talking about our student groups, and how do we use things that are happening all over and that affect all of us and bring us all together to create this chill space of what we're looking to do to engage students. All right. So when we're also thinking about creating like safe spaces, right? So we want to make sure we're kind of utilizing our resources, right? So, what staff or even the advisor of your student organization use to support creating those safe spaces, right? So let's say we're talking about something related to current events, right? Touchy subject in a lot of cases, depending on what you talk about, right? Let's say you're talking about climate change or tragedies like school shootings, right? What are some people that we can use when we're talking about a holistic conversation that affects us all? What are some resources we can utilize, right? What are some staff members, some professors that we can utilize, some people within the university that can help support, that holistic view, right? And then also keep in mind, you guys gave me a glimpse of the groups that are in here, but also keep in mind, if you're a part of an academic group, right? So when we're talking about things that affect an entire department or, things of that nature, bringing that together when we're talking about holistic, right? Of seeing the whole student, right? So let's say the bio. Why do I always go to bio? I was not a bio major. Anyway, so let's say the bio, everyone in the bio department may be affected by a change in leadership, right? And you as a student organization wants to have a conversation about it, right? That's something that affects all of you, right? And so what are those ways you could pull in staff and professors to talk about, hey, what do we want our next department chair to look like, right? What are these options, right? Making it a conversation, right? Things that affect you and other components of, hey, just the organization, right? All right. Our next one, integral. How to make it fit to your organization. So the definition of integral, of or related to, being a part of the whole, necessary to the completeness of the whole. So when we're talking about our chill spaces that we want to create for our student organizations, it has to integrate with either the purpose or intent of your organization or the university overall, right? What this could look like is, let's say we have like a sewing club on the campus, right? And so when we're talking about the sewing club, typically they'll always do community service, right? So they are sewing club for community service. They sew pet toys and blankets for the homeless community. So when we're talking about a chill space and creating a space where we can get everyone to engage in, what that may look like is, communal, something that affects all of us, right? Holistic. Clearly, we all like sewing if we're in the sewing club, right? But what that could look like is choosing a day where you put it on everyone's calendar. I was like, hey, there's a new craft store that opened up. We're going to go and we're going to buy some supplies, right? So it's not necessarily attached to an event. It could be like, hey, I just want to go get my own crafts of sorts. But that's how you make it related to your organization, if that makes sense, right? So we are a community service sewing club, right? We're not doing community service. We're just going to a local craft store that's brand new. Let's say it's a brand new Michael's, honey, a sewing person's dream. It's a brand new Michael's, right? So, hey, we're going to put something on the calendar for all of our student org members, as well as our exec board, to say, hey, this is happening nearby. We would like to carpool and go. Right? That's how we make it fit our organization, right? Because having random events just to bring people together isn't sensible, right? So let's connect it, right? Let's assume, we already talked about there's 3 different levels when we talk about student orgs, right? I care, I'm here so I don't get fired. But we're all connected in some type of way to the particular organization. So let's use that vocal piece, right? So that's one way you can be integral. Make sure when we're talking about chill spaces that we're creating, it's related to, if not your specific organization, it's related to the university overall. And also just make sure it's not org facing, right? So this is us just getting together. We ain't doing no community events. We're not even going to talk about where we can donate pets and toys to, right? It is genuine time for us to commune as an organization, as student work. Okay. Learning. So I figured someone will understand the reference for this. I don't, but I figured it would make someone feel entertained. So when we're talking about learning, right, it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, let's sit and read. But in these chill spaces that we're creating for our organization, you want to enhance a culture of learning more about each other, right? Communal learning, right? So it doesn't have to be, let's read a book together. It doesn't have to be that. But we want to learn more about each other, and we want to learn a skill set, right? So maybe, you know, if we're the sewing club, maybe instead of doing sewing, we would do crocheting, right? When we come together, right? So it's about learning more about each other and having a chill space, for lack of a better term, a chill space where we can learn together and we can figure out new things about each other and have discussion and engage in a way that's novel to what an organization typically does. Okay. This could be workshops, you know, if you want to bring in that professional development piece, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You get to be as creative as you want to be, but you also don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. I will also say that icebreakers are really a phenomenal way to enhance learning in chill spaces. So whether you want to, you know, when you have your chill space, you start off with icebreaker, right? Give me one fruit that describes how you're feeling today, right? And it's awkward and it's weird, but you get to learn a lot about how people think, how they process information, you know, what type of day they're having, right? So icebreakers are a great way to promote learning in these chill spaces that we're talking about. And then last but not least, make it likable. Okay, we are here to have fun. College is supposed to be fun. Like, we are not here to be boring, right? A lot of these student organizations and the work that you guys are doing can be tiresome when you think about all of the commitments that you have to tie into it, right? So when we're creating these chill spaces, let's make it fun. Let's make it engaging. Let's make it lighthearted so that if people, you know, have limited time commitments, they can come and go as they please, right? But definitely absolutely be intentional about making sure it's likable by many. Not, oh, would an exec board really think this would be cool? Like, no, make it a space that on all levels of your organization, your students, your student org members, your peers will want to be a part of, right? No formal agendas, okay? Do not promote it as something that is a meeting, right? Chill space is something that happens outside of your regular environment, outside of what you all do for homecoming and involvement fair. It is a space that is specifically dedicated to getting to know each other, right? Connecting over skills, connecting over that holistic piece, right? You don't talk about responsibilities and what the club is supposed to be doing. That you don't. You try to promote that, hey, we are just students in this space when we come together, right? Yes, it is the org hosting it, but it is not org specific, right? You are just Kevin when you were in this space. You were just Isabella when you were in this space. We are not talking about the president or the VP or the social media chair or anything like that, right? It's a space where there's a high level of inclusion. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about creating a chill space, questions that we absolutely need to consider. Now, I am new to Towson, but I know some of y'all got like 300 plus members in y'all groups. So here is some smart ways to figure out, okay, how do we create these actual chill spaces? So one thing to consider, especially if we're talking about, you know, academic related groups, does my student group have a living community or like a community space, right? The student org office that's right across the hall from where the student activities is, right? That's a space where, hey, we can probably just come together and do something there, right? I'm assuming if you all already have an office over there, right? How large is my group? Very, 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 very important question, right? Is there an option to do a virtual chill space, right? The level of creativity that people had when the pandemic was going on. I've had like virtual paint and sips where people mailed me boxes of paint supplies and then we got together and we watched a YouTube video and we did it, right? And that's because it was a very massive organization. So how do you reach everybody but still offer an opportunity that's not related to the goals of the organization where we can commune and be interactive together? What physical spaces on campus can be chill spaces, right? something really to consider, especially when you consider how large your group may or may not be. And then is there something that the university already offers that helps with this, right? So when we're talking about, I'm still learning the events here at Towson, y'all, but let's say the big event, right? Now, typically, this is not a great example of a chill space because it really should not be org related. If your organization always does the big event, then I would say this would not be a chill space for you. But it's just about utilizing those resources, right? Maybe the university has a speaker coming and it's not directly related to your organization, but it would be great because maybe you all have similar interests. Hey, let's just all sign up to go. It'd be great for all of us to go. We'll have a meeting there, not a meeting, I'm sorry, like a table there. We'll all be meeting up to go to this event. Theater productions, right? Those are always usually great events to engage, you know, with students around the university, right? Is there something the university already has that can help with this? So those are some questions that, you know, you consider when you're, you know, kind of pondering what would a chill space actually look like from our organization. When we're talking about options, right? So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Depending on the level of your organization, open planning meetings for all members of your signature events. So typically, I know it's pretty common, and this is within any organizational structure, so no one's faulting you if you do that, but typically when we're talking about those signature events, we have a committee. But what would it look like to have like a think tank for like the first meeting, and then we can choose committee members from there, right? So let's say it is, you know, I believe LASSO does like a big event. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know someone from LASSO is in here, right? LASSO does a big event.
Yeah, we have a big event in the semester called like Noche Latina,
Yes.
where we have like other orgs or like clubs either perform a dance or some type of like cultural thing.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still learning. I know I heard it. So thank you. So, all right. So that event, what does it look like? So instead of it being like a committee or the same people joining every year, what is it like if we start a open planning meeting, right? To talk about, hey, what is our theme going to be this year? What groups do we want to invite? If you make it open to all, you might get some of those members that have disengaged before that are like, oh, well, I just kind of want to come and either hear or I want to come and share my ideas, right? Co-working spaces, right? I will say there is a good amount of spaces around where people can just come together. Hey, we're going to have a free study hour, y'all. We just want to see everybody. It's been a while since maybe we've seen each other. Maybe our last meeting was virtual. Let's come together. No rules. Let's find a space. We'll all meet up at this time and do work together, right? Scheduling lunch or dinner time frames, right? Listen, one thing I know as a former college student, it is very serious if your friends go eat without you. So that's a great way, right? How I was talking about, you know, we all need to eat, right? Or not if we're fasting, but we all need to eat. So what are some ways we can bring lunch or dinner together as a way to be like, hey, y'all, you know, I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret. Pause is opening downstairs. I just tried out the food earlier, right? So hey, let's all get together for pause. Don't say I didn't do nothing for y'all. That's a free nugget, okay? So hey, you know, pause is opening up. Let's all meet down there at this particular time with my student org, right? We just want to say, hey, let's have a good semester. Let's all re-engage after winter break, right? Attending programs as a group outside of what your Tiger Stripe requirement is. So I know a lot of us are here because it's, you know, I'm here so I don't get fired, and that's fine. There absolutely is stuff that you all are required to do as student org leaders. But just take into consideration some of those things that you have to do, but also open it up to everybody, right? Because community service is not the worst thing in the world to where only 1 or 2 people should go, right? So make it an everybody thing. That way you're sharing and divvying up tasks, right? Not just the community service chair has to be there. Hey, we're all doing a team for the big event. You should sign up, right? Supporting another club event is another way you can, you know, do those things. Learning about community programming. So like different things that are happening in the area. Tiger lead workshops. Now, obviously, this might seem like a push because that is what I run, but it is a great chill space, right? Yes, you get tiger stripes from it, but if you make it the, hey, we're going to go to this one and everybody pull up, it's also a space for you all to connect and re-engage some of the members that maybe have fell off during the times, right? It doesn't have to be anything super formal, but here's just some options of what you can think about, and you make it fit to your org, according to what, what's best for you all. All right. And then last but not least, when we're talking about chill spaces, they should not happen on a frequent basis. And let me tell you why. When we're talking about our student organizations, they very much have a flow, right? Fall semester kicks off. We got welcome to TU. It's this, it's midterms, it's finals, it's that, right? So when you have chill spaces, they should be authentic. They should not be related to they should not be related to anything that is already frequently attached to your organization, right? Because we want these spaces to be genuine. We want them to be out of the norm. We want to re-engage those people who have fell off a little bit, right? So oversaturation hinders, it doesn't help. So make it maybe a once in the semester thing, maybe twice, depending on the semester. Spring is usually typically more busy than fall, but chill space is supposed to be a change of pace. So don't push it all the time, once a month. I mean, unless that fits your student organization, right? I guess it depends on the level of disengagement you have. But I think there's a lot more authenticity of saying, hey, recognizing that all those other managing priorities and you all are students and there's things happening in mental health. It's more authentic to have it, once or twice, right? Offer to members only. This is supposed to be a safe space for you and your org to reconnect to students. So don't make it a student-facing event. If you always have a table at welcome to TU, do not make that your chill space. It is not authentic to you and your organization only. Okay, so do not make it something like, oh, we can do a 2-in-1. No, the chill space is supposed to be authentic and really a safe space for just you and your org to get together. And then really important is to reflect as a team. So, assuming wherever you all are on your executive board, I think it's really important to figure out what those pros and cons were. I think you probably would have more pros, but if there were cons, what were they? Oh, this space was not big enough for us, or, oh, we had a bigger turnout than what we thought it was, right? It's really important to reflect in any situation because that's how you know where you're going, right? So, reflecting as a team, either immediately after your chill space, but if it was like a large amount of time, let's put it on the agenda for the next board meeting, because that way you can be authentic to the chill space. Let's not talk about the student org. Let's not talk about what we have to do. You're more than welcome to add it to your next executive board meeting. Okay. All right. And then that is the end of my presentation. So I'm going to hop in the chat and see if we have any questions. If not, I'm going to allow you, oops, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm so sorry. I'm going to review. I don't think I see too many questions. But if you all have them, I will get off my screen here in a second. If there's anything that comes to mind. No shade to you. I meant the summit in general. Oh, no. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. I figured. No worries. No worries at all. Boyfriend, childhood bestie. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your engagement in the chat. I know it's like a lot balancing these things, but does anybody have any questions about what a chill space would look like for them? And I'm going to turn this off so that I can be engaging. Or do you want to have a think tank right now? Like, this could be a chill space. What do you think? Does this not fit the criteria for a chill space? That's also fine too. How are we feeling? Just want to see where I am on time here. Why is this not showing up? Okay. No questions at all? Okay. How are we feeling about the chill space? Let me get some reactions as far as, oh, there's a thumb. Okay, well, thank you for the thumbs. Thank you. There's a couple of thumbs, right? Oh, more thumbs. Thumbs back at y'all. That's great. Okay. I want to make sure it's something that seems feasible. Heart to you too, Madison. And Kevin. But I want to make sure it's something that's authentic to you all. Doesn't, add too much pressure to you guys being a student and tied in different directions. Thank you. So Megan said, I think it is a very smart way to make the environment more open and comfortable. And that's what we want, right? When it comes to disengagement, you know, we all have been at different points that we've mentioned, right? There's been mental health things. Oh, you want me to, I can go back to the slide. But it's communal, holistic, integral, learning, and likable. But let me go back to the slide and that way you can take a picture of it. 1 second. How do you share from here? But yeah, when we're talking about some of those, you know, challenges of balancing student life, it's important to have spaces that don't feel like work, don't feel like another priority, don't feel like another thing to do. All right, I'm sharing it now for you so you can see it. Oh my goodness, I kept you guys over time. You are more than welcome to jump out. I'm sorry. I was trying to find the time and I couldn't. But thank you all so much for attending this session. Can we jump? Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can absolutely send it all to you. I will send it to Chris, and he'll distribute it out to all of you guys, okay? Thanks so much. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to pull you away that long. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Stop share. Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. Bye.